The presidency has responded to recent criticisms by Senator Ali Ndume over alleged lopsided political appointments under President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's administration, accusing the Borno South lawmaker of hypocrisy and misinformation. In a statement by Bayo Onanuga, Special Advisor on Information and Strategy to the presidency dismissed Ndume's claims made during an interview as selective perception and headline chasing, noting that key appointments under the current administration include individuals from the senator's own region. On that background, we shall be talking to a guest on today's program, Ifeanyi Ugochukwu. Good evening, Ifeanyi. It's nice having you again.
Good evening, the anchor. Good evening to Enugu State, the AI state, as we call it now, because of the massive infrastructural development the governor is doing there, Governor Pitamba, and he has taken security as a top priority in Enugu State. So we are here in Rivers State reading about it. And Ifeanyi Ugochukwu is not a legal practitioner. I am a philosopher, a theologian, and an opinion molder.
All right, let's go on if you can still hear me. The president, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, has been severally accused of nepotism and lopsided appointment of political office holders. I don't know if you hold the same view as Sani, who recently called him out, and he wouldn't be the first to call him out. And with this recent appointment, for instance, of the NNPCL chair, Bayo Ojulari, apart from that, in all of his appointments since he took office in May 2023, how would you actually describe the appointment so far of Mr. President?
Thank you for this question. I think the issue of nepotism and the lopsided appointments by Nigerian leaders, especially those who assume the mantle of the presidency, is becoming so worrisome. Even when they claim that Nigeria is a federating unit, and when they will come for campaign and during electioneering campaign and the politicking, politicians will play with the intelligence of Nigerians, that they are representing the interest of Nigerians. I will be a president for Nigeria, irrespective of color, ethnicity, faith, and whatsoever, according to the lines in their oath of office. But it is very worrisome that no sooner than they assume offices, that they jettison, the lines written in black and white and in a very simple English in the Constitution regarding the unity of Nigeria, regarding the federal character, so to say. None of them has implemented what they call federal character in the true sense of it. So that is where, I don't know whether you said it's Alain Dume or is Obasani or Shehu Sani. I don't really get the person, because I know that a lot of Nigerians has called out the past president, Muhammadu Buhari, accused him of nepotism. Bola Ahmed Tinubu came into office, given his antecedents when he was the Lagos State governor, where we knew he appointed commissioners and SAs across party line, across ethnic groups, where we knew he had people from other states in his cabinet. It was one of the things that worked for him when he decided to throw his hat into the ring to contest for the presidency in Nigeria. A lot of us made case for him, despite the fact that we did not totally agree for him, who has assumed the position of a kingmaker. to come and become a king. But be that as it may, he threw his hat into the ring and said, Emiloko, that it had been his earnest dream to become the Nigerian president. We thought that there would be a replica of what he did in Lagos State in Nigeria. So, but we political watchers and for this are very, very disappointed that he has toned the line. Although, like Peter Obi said recently, that why are Nigerians having high expectations on President Bola Ahmed Tinubu? Because he said that he was going to start from where Buhari stopped. And true to his word, that is what he's doing. As you and I are speaking now, the president is out in France doing what we don't know. And you could see the killings, the rampaging herdsmen and other people that are killing people in droves in Nigeria. And nobody is talking about it. The CNC, meaning the commander-in-chief, is nowhere to be found. So this is where Nigerians found themselves. So when you talk about nepotism, it is clear and evidential to the blind and very loud to the ears of the deaf that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has toned the line of Muhammadu Buhari. Look at the recent appointments. Look at some states in the south. I don't know whether it's Osun State now, or either Osun or Ondo State. I don't know, the one that has about 5 ministers. Well, even the power play that happened during the 2023 general elections, Chief Barrister Nyesom Wike, played in the hands of the president by making a deal with him, that the Mr. President have to be given, allegedly, or so to say, the vote of Rivers people. So having played into his hands, we thought that Rivers State would have gotten about 3 ministers, at least for compensation. But it's only just on Wike. So, and you saw the appointment of the DSS chair. You saw the recent appointment of the person that is the driving the economy, which is the CBN governor, is a Yoruba man. The most recent appointment that Mr. President made is still a Yoruba man. I don't know whether you help me to remember the office. The man that he just appointed now is also a Yoruba man. So
what are we saying? Is it not the NNPC chairman? The group managing director chairman, of NNPC, Bayo Julari. Is that what you're talking about, Ugochukwu?
Your memories are really sound. Because I didn't want to take my mind into the shenanigans that are surrounding an NPC, so I didn't take much time to profile the man they appointed now. Even his name is escaping me because I didn't have much interest because of all those charades they are doing there. So what are we saying is that constitutionally and for Nigeria to work as a true federating unit, they have what they call federal character. Even among the political parties, they have what they call zoning formula. Despite the fact it is not written in black and white, but they call it a gentleman's agreement. The PDP in the last general election, did they honor that particular gentleman's agreement? The answer is no. You saw Atiku Abubakar and Bala Mohammed, all of them threw their hats into the ring. They did not even allow PDP to zone it to the south. So if Alim Dume is coming out to call out Mr. President, is he looking at the larger picture? Whenever Alim Dume speaks, they call on him that he has been a beneficiary of employment in the NNPCL. Even recently, they have also called him out that two of his people has benefited. What has he said about it? So the nepotism can be seen in all the facets and sectors of Nigeria, especially those they call juicy sectors in Nigeria. I don't know who will bear the cat, but with the way it's going, everybody is waiting for an opportunity to get the opportunity and place his people in key positions. And it's not that we are against the people you are putting, but are those people round pegs in round holes? Are they square pegs in square holes? That is the million-dollar question. And that's where Nigerians are concerned. Some of us are concerned because what we are seeing, look at the man that is at the saddle of CBN, who is also the coordinating minister of the economy. What is his antecedent? What is he doing there? The dollar is rising. Recently, you had one of the aides of the Mr. President saying that 1,500 can buy you a meal in Nigeria, while $1 cannot buy you a meal in the United States. I don't know where we are going here. So the problem here is this: if Nigerians and the people like Alain Dume, who he still has the opportunity of finding himself in the Nigerian Senate, did not rejig the constitution. It's not all those constitutional amendments they are doing now. It's not helping us. The constitutional amendment should be centered on the electoral act that will not give INEC just a power ad infinitum to conduct election and collect result and the result portal at their discretion. Even when they have said that elections should be collected at the polling units through the electronic model. But at the end of the day, you find the shenanigans INEC did in the last election. Even after the Mahmoud Yakubu came on national television and said this is the mode through which we are going to collect results. That particular clip was played in the Supreme Court. At the end of the day, you saw the line in the Supreme Court too. So the problem is we are building strong individuals against strong institutions that will checkmate those individuals. And before you ask me any other question, the Alain Dume that is talking now, we thought that after the 2023 general elections, when we saw that opposition political parties garnered enough members to represent their people in the National Assembly, I, for one, Ugochukwu Ifeanyi, I thought that there will be a robust National Assembly where debates will be healthy and for the benefit of Nigerians. But what did we see? Immediately they collected the 160 million SUV, all of them went quiet. That was the stick and carrot approach. So this stomach infrastructural politics and the policy making in Nigeria will not help us. So that is the problem, is because we don't have institutions. Who is even managing? You could, this particular topic came on when Buhari was on the saddle. I now asked them, the man that was holding swear, the chairman of the what do they call it? The one that talks about charter and equity. The character, whatever, the commission, character commission was being manned by a man from Katsina State. The secretary was also from Katsina State. The third in command was from Katsina. Then you now ask yourself, how will you be talking about national character and equity? And even in the commission, there is no equity and there is no fair representation. I don't know if you could recall the people that Buhari put in that particular commission. The first person, the secretary, and the third person in the chain of command. We are all from the north. Then you talk about equity and federal character. How will it work? Is it a rocket science? So this is what we are seeing. So Alain Dume that is complaining because tomorrow now they will accuse him because you have been shut out from Mr. President. He has ample opportunity from now to 2026 to galvanize his brothers and members of the opposition that have a reasonable number in the National Assembly to begin to ask for passed bills and rejig for constitutional amendments that will make for strong institutions and the strong federal character. Because if those things are captured in the constitution, no president will come in and take Nigerians for a ride in terms of appointments. So that is what we see in Nigeria. So, look at the.
Are you there, Ifeanyi?
Yes, I'm here. I'm here with you.
Okay, so let's go on. You also accuse past administration of
Did you lose me
nepotism,
momentarily?
and so it's not
Excuse me. Did you lose me? Did you
novel
lose
with
me
this
momentarily?
administration. And so, other than negating federal character and acting on nepotism, what are those criteria you believe should be considered when evaluating the legitimacy of appointments in government? Remember, there are other countries of the world who make appointments, and we don't get to hear these things. We don't get to hear that you appointed someone from, you appointed people from a particular region. I don't know if it is our own thing, but let's look at other criteria other than federal character principle of the country that the country should adopt.
Should follow. Okay. But I asked a question. Did you lose me momentarily towards the tail end of the first segment? So I'm asking you a question. Did you lose me momentarily? Hello?
I can't hear you,
Am
please. Just continue, please.
Okay, but can you hear me now? Okay. So the question you asked about the criterion we should follow about the going about appointing in our appointments in Nigeria. It is very simple. Let's talk about competence. Let's talk about competence. Let's talk about competence. And when you talk about competence, we don't care where the person is coming from. We don't even care whether there was a time in Nigeria when we had two brothers, Uche and his brother, playing in the national team. And Nigerians came out to say that even if we have 11 players from one particular state, what Nigeria knows is fair representation. The people that can go in there and win laurels for Nigeria. But, my dear, we should also take in cognizance our peculiarities as a nation. We are multidimensional, multicultural, multi-religion. So all those things should be factored into place when making appointments, because there is no one ethnicity that has the monopoly of people with extensive knowledge and wisdom. There is a saying in Igbo parlance that when a great man is born in another community, a great man is also born there. So that is why they say all facets of Nigeria can produce a president that can pilot the affairs of Nigeria very well. But what are we seeing today is this nepotism is not favorable, assuming without conceding that the people that are mounting in at those saddles are delivering at the ultima. Nigerians are seeing their input and output, and Nigeria is better for it. I think we should have gone a long way other than where we are today. That is what I have to say, because the way they are going about it is not really favorable to Nigeria. The Nigerian state is not making any headway from those appointments made under nepotism. So all we are asking is this: while making those appointments, let square holes be put in square, be occupied by square pegs, and round pegs in round holes. And if we do that, Nigeria will be better for it. Nobody will complain and even talk about where those being appointed are coming from. You asked if other clients are also passing through what we are passing. They have their peculiarities. Remember that democracy is local. In any form of governance a nation has adopted, or even a local community have adopted, is what is going to suit them. It's not the one we are practicing in Nigeria, is only favoring a few. is favoring a few. But if we have to look at it critically and tell ourselves the honest truth, we find out that everywhere in Nigeria, you have people of impeccable character and people with integrity, people that can serve. Was it not in Nigeria that Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala was recommended for Olusegun Obasanjo? Was it not here in Nigeria that Chukwuma Soludo was recommended? Was it not so in Nigeria that someone like El-Rufai was recommended for Olusegun Obasanjo's administration? So what are we talking about? Even the people, when Mahmoud Jaga conducted the election that ousted President Jonathan, is he not a Nigerian? When Jonathan appointed him, he told Nigerians that I don't even know the person that is being recommended. But because of his competence and integrity, I'm going to give him the job. So this is what we are talking about. We are not saying that
to you,
those
Ifeanyi Chukwu.
Yes.
To you, is there a particular appointment that reeks of a nepotism to you? Any appointment since 2023 that you looked at and you concluded that no, this is nepotism in its true nature?
If you ask me, the man that is the head of CBN, what's his name now? The man that is heading CBN and driving the economy. Cardoso. You have seen where we are. Yes, you have seen where we are with Cardoso till now. The only place I have seen a little change is the person that is appointed DSS boss. But when you go through and through, some ministers in Tinubu's cabinet have no business being there. They are so redundant. They are so unproductive. They are so lukewarm and nonchalant. So this is what we are talking about. What will Matawale... We are not even talking about nepotism. They also use this appointment to settle their cronies. The people that help them in their ascendance into the office of the president. We have seen it. If not, what will Matawale be doing as a chief of defense, as a minister of defense? What is his antecedents when you talk about security in Nigeria? Did we hear that he has undergone any security expertise course? And since he has been there, you have seen where Nigeria has where Nigeria has been. So these are some of the things we need to talk about. These are some of the things that, you know, Nigerians should come out, not only leaving it for Alain Dume. Alain Dume have tried for Nigerians by voicing out. Even when Buhari was there, he voiced out. So look at all the things that Mazen Nnamdi Kanu stated, that Nigeria will find ourselves within this space. And you find out that today, Nigerians are finding themselves in that space. So, but there is ample time for them to rejig. Anytime somebody wakes up his or her morning, and we know that from what Alain Dume is saying, if they are not going to gag him and, you know, wave out what he has said with a wave of the hand and take it by a pinch of salt, Mr. President and his kitchen cabinet should try and really ask themselves questions and do the needful, because you have seen all the people around them. Recently, you saw the vice president coming to voice out that his office and official duties has been taken over by the son of Mr. President. So what are we talking about? So these are some of the things that we are seeing in Nigeria that is not auguring well. And this appointment that we have seen, the man now who is manning the NNPC, we are still, I think he has floated job opportunity. We are going to see how it's going to turn out. So, but all I'm saying in effect is this: by the earlier they begin to realize that Nigerians are watching, and the lines they have told and their antecedents over time has not helped to progress us. And this nepotism, what it does to a nation is that it brings about those that are not really positioned to take on positions are being given position, while those people that should have the opportunity are being denied the opportunity, thereby bringing about brain drain. Brain drain is not only when people are traveling outside Nigeria and getting jobs and all that, but what it means is when you use people that are incompetent, people that are not supposed to, man particular sectors and positions, it brings about redundancy, unprogressivity to a nation. While it's not that your nation does not have people who are competent, but because of favoritism, nepotism, and the reward for those their political cronies, the country at large, the larger populace, are left to wallow in penury, and the nation becomes underdeveloped.
All right, Ifeanyi, I wish you are not from the southeast, but regardless, I'm going to ask you this question. Are there particular regions or demographics that seem to be underrepresented in this administration?
I have said it clearly. I've made it known that the administration of Bola Tinubu, I think you could do a fast check and see the state. I think it's Osun State that has five what do you call it? 5 ministers. You also have those with overbloated SAs. Even Lagos State is even crying foul. Thereby showing us that Mr. President might not be the Lagos boy as he hitherto has claimed, because we could have seen that Lagos State would have been rewarded handsomely, despite the fact that he lost the election in Rivers State. So that is what it is. So now we know that nepotism has shown clearly. Nepotism has shown clearly, and Mr. President has shown that he's not ready to take the caution and take corrections. But if you ask me clearly, nepotism is very obvious in the administration of President Bola Tinubu since his inception.
I need you to do a comparative analysis, a brief one at that, with past administrations. Okay. It doesn't have to be the immediate past administration. Are there patterns that stand out in terms of his appointment? If you can start from 1999, if your memory can serve.
Yes, I think I've painted the picture of those that came into the administration of Olusegun Obasanjo. I made mention of the Erufais of this world. I made mention of even when he didn't know about Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala. You could see that we had people like some of his kitchen cabinets were not even from the Yoruba nation. And you could also see the mixture of appointments from diverse ethnic groups when the Yaradua holds sway for a little time that he did, So I think it's something that needs to be emulated. And when Jonathan came, clearly Jonathan also did the same. Jonathan did not practice nepotism in any way. Jonathan did not practice nepotism. Jonathan appointed across board those that are competent to his own understanding and standard. And also, you saw when he appointed Jiga as the INEC chair. So that goes a long way to show you that some administrations did better than what we saw during the time of Muhammadu Buhari and what we are seeing today. Anybody that is being removed in any position now is being replaced with somebody from the Southwest. That one is very clear, and you can see Nigerians are alive to what is happening. But is he going to teach us any lesson in the pattern through which we are going to vote in 2027? The answer is no, because we have not learned our lessons. They have employed the weapon of hunger and poverty. The impoverished Nigerians are sharing to 2,000. Nigerians will run and collect such money and vote them back into power. So it is an unfortunate situation. Until the economy improves, an average Nigerian might not have the mind of his or her. An average Nigerian will not have a mind of his or her own in terms of voting, in terms of the way the person's conscience. Look, a person that is hungry does not have a mind or conscience of his own, unfortunately. So that is where all those things are leading us. And you could see that in what is happening in the political space now, there is an attempt to gag and cause disaffection in opposition political parties. And there is an attempt to poach prominent members of other opposition parties by dangling the carrot before them. So once you are given an appointment, whether merited or unmerited, you no longer see clearly that nepotism is staring all of us in the face. You no longer see that federal character has been jettisoned. You do not see clearly that Nigeria is not operating according to the tenets of the Constitution. But it's a pity that we have a large mixture of political parties as National Assembly. But are Nigerians getting anything that is seemingly consolable from them? The answer is no.
All right, we're about to conclude, Ifeanyi, and I wouldn't want us to end without talking briefly about the man, Senator Ali Ndume, who has been most vocal to the point of running into trouble with party men. He belongs to the ruling APC party. Remember that in 2017, he also had issues that necessitated his suspension for a couple of months. And in 2024, apart from the mentioning of the fact that some members of the red chambers are kleptocrats, he called them thieves, people who utilize their place of authority to steal public funds. He called them that, and he ran into trouble and was nearly suspended. And I recall also that in 2024 was when he said that the president was caged. In fact, he made statements during an interview that raised an uproar in the red chamber.
The president has been stressed up from Nigerians.
He ran into trouble, so to say. And now again, he has said something that had prompted the presidency to say that he's misinformed. Do you foresee him getting into trouble? Now, I know that the red chambers are currently in troubled waters. What with the leadership having a fight with a member who has taken the matter to the court and has slammed several charges. Do you foresee Ali Ndume also getting into another trouble with this particular statement?
Ali Ndume has been in the National Assemblies as long as I can remember. I don't think Ali Ndume has nothing to lose. He might be dancing his last dance. And I can tell you for free that if Ali Ndume wants to come back to the Senate, he will not fly his flag under the APC. He can take it to the bank. So he has seen the pattern of party men, the gang up and the shenanigans that is going on among the high-ranking members of the National Assembly, that people have been gagged, people have sold their consciences, if there is any English like that, or conscience, that people have sold their souls because of political gain and political positions. So he has decided, God loves Nigeria so much, in as much as I don't like bringing God into political space. But why I said this is, you remember when Dino Melaye was the voice in the National Assembly? I think, 8th or 9th National Assembly. He was the voice speaking for Nigerians. You could remember when Sheikh Husani was there. Sheikh Husani was the one speaking for Nigerians. So Nigerians have not hitherto been left orphan in somebody that represents their voice, whether from the opposition or from the ruling party, for Nigerians to know exactly what is going on. So what Alain Dume is doing now is he has seen clearly that those people do not want the progress of Nigeria. And he has decided to take it upon himself to speak the truth. As Dino Melaya said, that you say the truth, you die. You say the lie, you die. Then I say the truth and I die. So you could clearly understand why he has, stood out among all his, despite the fact that tomorrow the bionanugas of this world will begin to drag him to the mall. But I want Nigerians, despite any way we have seen Alain Dume over time, because the question that will be there, when Buhari was doing it, did he call him out? When this person was doing it, did he call him out? But hence, he has the courage to speak out. Like I said earlier, when a man wakes up, it's his morning. If he has realized whether he's playing politics, whether he's playing the northern cards, as they will say tomorrow, or whether he's playing the politics of being selfish because he has been denied some things. Remember, he has been removed as the chief whip. So people will think that he's whipping up sentiments. Assuming without considering his whipping up sentiments, can Nigerians please take the message and not the messenger? My final take on this, Nigerians should appraise, critique what Alain Dume is talking about.
Of politicals on Signature Evening. We appreciate your company, sir.
Thank you so much, and good night to
All right, and the question there is, are the appointments by President Tinubu since 2023 lopsided and nepotistic? That has been answered by Ifeanyi Ugochukwu, a public affairs analyst who joined us on Politicals this evening. We'll take a break. When we return, we will continue with another discussion.
Signature TV, news in your pocket.